If you're a lineman in charge of keeping the lights on, Grainger understands that you go to great lengths and sometimes heights to ensure the power is always flowing, which is why you can count on Grainger for professional-grade products and next-day delivery, so you have everything you need to get the job done. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Kick off summer with Memorial Day savings at Lowe's. Right now, get 5 Scott's Naturescapes 1.5 cubic foot mulch bags for just $10. Plus, get up to 40% off select major appliances and save an extra $50 on every $500 you spend on select major appliances $396 or more. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 5/28. Mulch offer excludes Alaska and Hawaii. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See Lowe's.com for more details.
Caloroga Shark Media.
Hey there, I'm Johnny Mac with a creaky voice apparently today with 5 good news stories. Hey, do you have some CDs lying around? Well, good news, they might be worth something. Remember everybody got back into vinyl? Now everybody's getting back into CDs. Check your closet. Do you have Bruce Springsteen's The Future of Rock and Roll? That was a promo-only compilation released in Japan in 1988. It might be in your closet. It's now extremely rare. I think it was always extremely rare. Anyway, if you've got that one, it'll fetch you around $1,300. Maybe you have My Name Was Prince by Prince. Only 50 copies of that Japan collection were made in 1993 to promote the 12-track album The Hits. Collectors will pay over $5,000 for a copy of that one. How about Paris Hilton? You got any Paris Hilton CDs? She had a debut album called Paris, and apparently we want that one because the famous graffiti artist Banksy, in 2006, distributed 500 fake copies of the album in 48 shops. He swapped the original booklet with his own art and replaced the disc with one featuring Danger Mouse remixes. $8,000 if you got one. And remember those compilation CDs, Now That's What I Call Music? Well, Now That's What I Call Music 4 was released in 1984 and was the first Now album on CD, but only 500 copies were made. They did reissue it in 2019, so don't worry about it if you have one of those, but if you have an original, that can still get you like $400. How about Coldplay's 1998 EP, The Safety? You got that? Supposedly only 350 were given to family, friends, and label executives. It's now one of the most valuable CDs. That'll go around $1,500. And David Bowie's Sound Plus Vision, 1989 compilation, only 350 produced, $4,000. If you are from New York City, remember the big garbage dump in Staten Island? Believe me, if you ever saw it, you wouldn't forget it. It was huge, and it smelled. Well, members of the Fresh Kills Park Alliance have announced the kickoff of the 50,000 Violet Project at Fresh Kills Park North Park. That park opened in October of 2023. The project aims to plant 50,000 native violets over the next 2 years so that we'll see butterflies, bees, and other pollinators drifting through the violet fields, which, of course, are above a big pile of garbage. The Fresh Kills landfill operated from 1948 to 2001. It was originally temporary. It became the largest in the world by 1955. At its peak in 1986, it received up to 29,000 tons of trash per day. Anyway, they're turning it into a park. Portions of Fresh Kills Park have opened in phases. The park is expected to be fully open by 2036, at which point it will be 3 times the size of Central Park. Good news for some sea turtles. They were released back into the Atlantic Ocean. 31 turtles, 25 from the New England Aquarium's Sea Turtle Hospital and 6 more from the New York Marine Rescue Center. What's been going on is that changing ocean temperatures and extreme wind patterns have forced sea turtles up north, and then they get cold stunned in the freezing waters of Cape Cod Bay, and then they get stranded. Good to see they're back out at sea. In London, an autistic artist is working with the city to implement Happy to Talk benches to combat loneliness. Oliver explains, loneliness is an important topic for me because my autism can make it harder for me to form connections with other people. I tend to talk about a specific range of subjects and bring up the same things repeatedly, and this can make people not want to interact with me. So here's the premise. Advertise a park bench with the goal of getting strangers to sit and talk together. That's it. Oliver says, with all these lonely people out there, I felt it was important to do something about it. I decided I would try to promote it in Camden. There are now Happy Talk benches in 4 locations in his town, with hopefully more to follow. Ralph passed away at age 92. He was a multi-millionaire. His widow Barbara found herself with a fortune. She wanted to spend it right. She told WJAR, "I think of those that struggle now to put food on their tables, to fix a car that broke down." Since Ralph passed away 5 years ago, Barbara has donated $100 million to 350 nonprofits in Rhode Island. One of those programs, Read to Succeed, encouraged students to read 6 books over the summer, after which they could take a test and receive a $1,000 college scholarship. That program alone has funded more than $2.2 million in scholarships. Now students can apply to scholarships like the Transform RI program, which asks students, if you had $1 million to improve the lives of those who need it most in Rhode Island, how would you do it? Then Barbara invested that $1 million in making the winning idea a reality, and the student behind it gets a $25,000 scholarship. That is really neat. And those are your 5 good news stories for today. You have an awesome one.